Now that the WWE Royal Rumble has taken place, we are firmly on the road to WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas, Nevada on April 19th and 20th. But the question is, what matches will be taking place inside Allegiant Stadium? Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there's plenty of pro wrestling stuff to discuss. Now, this weekend I am traveling, but I didn't want to leave you guys in the lurch. I wanted to make sure you guys had some content to watch, so I thought I'd do something a little bit different. Usually, you know me, I'll read off the latest pro wrestling news and give you guys just wrestling news, simple as that. It says it in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, but I can't obviously make up the news if I'm traveling. So what I thought I'd do is something a little bit different and share my predictions for the WrestleMania 41 match card. Now, we've got a bit of a better idea about this, don't we? Coming out of the Royal Rumble, certainly a lot of people look to the Royal Rumble Premium Live event every year to see the seeds being planted for WrestleMania a few months later on. But arguably this year, it might be more difficult to predict what matches are going to be taking place on April 19th and 20th than ever before. So here are some, not the entire card certainly, but here are some 5 matches that I think could take place at WrestleMania later on this year at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, the first match is a triple threat match, and this one seems relatively obvious. There have been reports, haven't there, in the last few days, specifically from Mike Johnson of PW Insider, to suggest that one of the matches in store for WrestleMania is a triple threat match. It's Roman Reigns facing off against former Shield stablemate Seth Rollins, but also CM Punk as well in a triple threat match, with some suggesting this could be the main event for night 1, with main event of night 2 we'll get to a little bit later on. Now, why is this likely to happen? Why do we think we're heading in this direction? Of course, all 3 men, they don't like each other. The story does kind of spell itself out, doesn't it? And really, the big direction for this one was coming out of the men's Royal Rumble match, because Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins were both eliminated by CM Punk. CM Punk almost instantly was then eliminated by Logan Paul, and all 3 men were on the outside of the ring when all hell started to break loose. You had Seth Rollins stomp onto the head of Roman Reigns. He then engaged in a brawl with CM Punk. CM Punk didn't seem happy about it at all. He actually had some words with Paul Heyman, didn't he, as well? A former advocate for the former WWE champion. Seth Rollins then hit another curb stomp, this time putting Roman Reigns' head into the steel steps. WWE later released an injury update suggesting that Roman Reigns was out of action for the foreseeable future. In the reality, it's because Roman Reigns only has limited dates. Meanwhile, Seth Rollins and CM Punk, their rivalry has continued. Their rivalry started last year before WrestleMania. Their plan at one point was to have CM Punk versus Seth Rollins, seemingly for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia. But then, of course, CM Punk got injured in the men's Royal Rumble match back in 2024, so he actually had to miss the Premium Live event. Instead, Rollins faced off against McIntyre on night 2, and he was in the main event of night 1 alongside Cody Rhodes against The Rock and Roman Reigns. So with all of this going on, we know that the Rollins and Punk feud is going to continue. Of course, CM Punk owns a victory over Seth Rollins in the main event of the Netflix premiere episode of Monday Night Raw on January 6th of this year. We know that CM Punk has history of Roman Reigns as recently as Survivor Series War Games. He, of course, has the favor from Paul Heyman. He got that favor by teaming with the original version of the Bloodline in the War Games match at Survivor Series, and could he cash in that favor for the triple threat match at WrestleMania? And do I need to say more about the history between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, being Rollins hitting the steel chair into the back of Roman Reigns when the Shield split up? Of course, he was involved in Reigns losing the championship last year. Arguably, he was the distraction, coming out with the heel music and the Shield music with the Shield attire to distract Roman Reigns, allowing Cody Rhodes to win the undisputed WWE Championship in the process. So that looks like that match is going to be happening at WrestleMania and could indeed be the main event of night 1. We then go into the Women's Championship match, and my prediction is that Tiffany Stratton will be defending her WWE Women's Championship against the winner of the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble, Charlotte Flair. Now, of course, we've seen at the time of recording this video, Charlotte Flair appear on Raw and she confronted Rhea Ripley, the Women's World Champion. We then saw her on NXT confront Julia, the NXT Women's Champion. Of course, could be Bayley or could be Roxanne Perez in the future. But there have been reports recently to suggest, and this was even prior to Charlotte Flair making her return at the Royal Rumble Premium Live event, winning the Women's Royal Rumble, her second Royal Rumble victory of her career, that she was set to face off against Tiffany Stratton. And it feels most likely we've got two big returns happening in the women's division in 2025 in WWE. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch. We'll get to Becky Lynch later on. It seems like Becky Lynch is going to be on Monday Night Raw, and it looks like Charlotte Flair is going to be on SmackDown. Because of this, my prediction is that we get Charlotte Flair challenging for the WWE Women's Championship against Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. Now, if you're a fan of Tiffy time, you might be a little bit concerned because a recent WrestleVotes report suggested that not only would there big plans for Charlotte Flair to return to WWE television and be featured heavily going into WrestleMania in a big spot, which has already started since she won the Women's Royal Rumble match, it also suggested in that same report to expect to see championship gold around the waist of the Queen in the near future. Now, prior to getting injured in December of 2023, it was reported at the time that Charlotte Flair had signed a new contract with WWE, and it was one of the highest paid contracts for a female talent in WWE history. Because of that, my prediction is WWE is going to be looking to get more return on their investment, and they're kind of running the parallel Cody Rhodes story, I think, that we saw back in 2023. Cody Rhodes returning from a major injury. He won the men's Royal Rumble match, and he went on to main event WrestleMania. Now, he didn't beat Roman Reigns in the WrestleMania 39 in Hollywood, but I think that's going to be different because I think Charlotte Flair might be leaving WrestleMania with championship gold this year. Now, speaking of Royal Rumble winners, my prediction is that we are going to get Jey Uso, the winner of the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble match, facing off against Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. And I suppose it's probably not the most difficult prediction to make. Some people were feeling a little bit underwhelmed coming out of the Royal Rumble, suggesting that, yes, whilst it was a surprise, the World Heavyweight Championship match lacks a little bit of something as we head into WrestleMania. Others were suggesting that it's the right move. Jey Uso is incredibly popular. When he comes out, he gets a massive reaction. He comes through the crowd. Everyone says his catchphrase, Yee. Everyone does his dance. He sells a ton of merchandise as well, so it's only right to try and elevate him and put the world title on him. We saw Jey Uso win his first singles championship last year, the Intercontinental Championship. Only held it for a few weeks though before it was won back by Bron Breakker. He's challenged for the World Championship a number of times, specifically this title as well as the Undisputed WWE Championship during Roman Reigns' historic reign too. But it looks like WrestleMania could be the time that he finally wins the big one. Now, interestingly, and maybe this is why people have pushed back on this as well, we saw this match happen just a few weeks ago. We saw it on Saturday night's main event. Gunther defeated Jey Uso to retain the World Heavyweight Championship. So what's the difference here? Is it because it's WrestleMania? Is it because it's the showcase of the Immortals? Is it because Uso's already faced off against Gunther before that it's more likely that he wins the title here? It looks unlikely that it will be a main event match. Could it main event night one? Is it big enough to main event night one? I'll let you be the decider of that in the comment section below. But I think it's likely we see Uso challenge Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania in Las Vegas. Now, what about the Women's World Championship? Now, this maybe is a bit of a bolder prediction. We had heard, and it had been reported by Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, that we could be set to see Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania for the Women's World Championship. Now, the interesting thing about this one is this is a match that hasn't really happened all that much. Their careers have kind of run parallel to each other. When Bianca Belair won the Women's Royal Rumble back in 2021, the final two in that match, it was Rhea Ripley, it was Bianca Belair. At WrestleMania that year, Bianca Belair defeated Mercedes Moné, then known as Sasha Banks, in one of the main events of WrestleMania to win the SmackDown Women's Championship. Rhea Ripley defeated Asuka to win the Raw Women's Championship, and they kind of ran parallel. They even appeared on an episode of NXT shortly after alongside Raquel Rodriguez, the NXT Women's Champion at the time, and kind of celebrated in this wholesome moment of all coming from NXT. The match was meant to happen at Money in the Bank in 2022, but unfortunately an injury to Rhea Ripley meant the match couldn't happen, and there had been reports by Seth we were going to see this match at WrestleMania in Las Vegas. But the reason I think this could be a triple threat match is because it feels like triple threat matches are on the mind of WWE, and in the same way that Seth Rollins seemingly has been added to an original singles match that was planned for WrestleMania. That original singles match was CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. It could be a case where his wife Becky Lynch is also added to a planned singles match to make it a triple threat match. Of course, last year at WrestleMania, we saw Rhea Ripley face off against Becky Lynch and defeat her to retain the Women's World Championship. Becky Lynch then left WWE later that year. Her contract expired. She wanted time off, but we do know she has put pen to paper. She signed a new contract at the end/beginning of this year, and some expected her to be at the Netflix premiere episode of Raw. She wasn't there. Others expected her to be in the Women's Royal Rumble match. She wasn't there. But surely with a man being under contract, she will be appearing at WrestleMania. And if it is a case that she could be added to a match, could she be added to a match where someone she's faced both at WrestleMania? She faced Bianca Belair at WrestleMania 38. Of course, she lost. She faced Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 40. She lost. Could the man come around at WrestleMania and possibly win the gold? And finally, the WWE Championship match I predict at WrestleMania is going to be Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. And this is my prediction to main event night 2 of WrestleMania 41, to be honest with you. We have heard since John Cena began his farewell tour, his retirement tour, that he wanted a 17th World Championship. Now, many, including myself, thought that John Cena was going to win the Men's Royal Rumble last weekend and were shocked to see Jey Uso eliminate Cena to win the whole thing. Now, if you haven't seen it, I would recommend to go and watch the promo that Cena did at the post-show press conference, when afterwards he cut maybe one of the best promos we've seen on WWE television in years, stating that he was going to be entering the Men's Elimination Chamber match. And for the first time, he confidently stated that he will win a 17th WWE World Championship. He said that it's best for business that he main events WrestleMania. Now, whether or not Cena's going to win his 17th World Championship at WrestleMania, frankly, he's got the rest of the year to do it. Cena isn't going to retire until December. He's not going to have his final match until right at the end of this year. So the retirement tour will continue post-WrestleMania. It's not like he's retiring in the main event at WrestleMania, but it feels like with John Cena, arguably one of the biggest and best WWE superstars of all time, one of the biggest box office drawing superstars of all time, one of the biggest Hollywood movie stars currently right now out there, that he main events his last and final WrestleMania. It will be a clash of two faces of WWE, the face of the past, of the ruthless aggression / PG era of WWE in John Cena, and the face of the current version of WWE, the Paul Levesque, the Netflix era, that being Cody Rhodes. And it would, of course, make it over a year since Cody Rhodes won the championship in the main event of WrestleMania 40. Does he drop the championship to Cena, or does Cena do the honors and pass the torch to Cody Rhodes in the main event of this year's event? So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts about it. Let me know your predictions for some of the matches. Do you agree with some? Have I missed some out? Obviously, the card will be much bigger. It's across 2 nights, April 19th and 20th. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know your predictions. What match is going to be taking place at WrestleMania 41? Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Normal news videos will be resuming on Monday next week. And I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.